This video is a review of the newest Puckipuppy Schnauzer urban moped-style electric bike. I'm going to unbox, go over the controls and settings, unlock the max speed, test the acceleration and max speed, brakes, suspension, and hill capabilities, and review the e-bike. The Schnauzer has a 960 watt peak rear hub motor with a max speed of 28 miles per hour or 45 kilometers per hour, cadence sensor, thumb throttle, DIY sticker designs, color LCD display, 48 volt 15 amp hour battery with a range of up to 60 miles or 97 kilometers, hydraulic disc brakes, front and rear suspension, 20 by 4 inch fat tires, 7-speed shifter, dual headlights, tail light, and 6061 aluminum frame that weighs 84 pounds. Additional specs can be found in the description section below.
Here's the box that it came in. It's about 4.5 feet long, 3 feet high, and a foot deep. This was everything inside the box. We have the bike itself, the front wheel. This is the front fender. Came with a bag that goes right here. There's a bike pump. There's another box with the charger, the toolkit, pedals, the headlight. There's another screwdriver, a razor blade, some zip ties, some bolts, end caps, and then the instruction manual. For the interest of time, I'm going to look through the instruction manual and then I'll install it, and when we come back, it'll be fully assembled. The bike has been assembled. We're gonna take a look at the battery and charger. We're gonna take a key. There's 2 by the left side of the handlebar. We're gonna stick it in on the left side of the battery and turn it counterclockwise. We'll push the battery upwards and it'll come out. This is the on and off switch. The circle is off, the line is on. This is the charging port. If we lift this piece of rubber, it exposes the plug. On the top, we have the battery status indicator. If we press this button, it doesn't work until you turn the switch on. Once you turn it on and you press this button, you can see the battery level. There's 5 LEDs. It's currently at 4, so it's 80% full. Here's the other side of the battery. This is where we put the key in. And this is the locking mechanism. Here's the battery model information in case you need a replacement. The model number is YX-HL4815. It's 48 volts, 15 amp hours. Here are the contacts. And this is the back. Let's slide the battery back in. We'll turn the key clockwise to lock it, and then we'll pull the key out. The charging port is right here. We'll lift the rubber flap to expose the plug. Take the charging brick, plug this end in here, and the other end into the wall. There's an LED status indicator. It will be red when it's charging, and it'll change to green when it's fully charged. Here's the back of the charging brick. The model is LBC481036. Input is 100 to 240 volts, 2.2 amps max. 50 to 60 hertz, output is 54.6 volts at 2 amps. Let's take a look at the controls. Starting from the left side, we have the left grip. This is the front brake lever. Here's a set of controls. There's a power button, an up, minus, a headlight button, and then a horn. There were 2 keys. I took one off. This is the display, 7-speed shifter, thumb throttle, rear brake lever, and right grip. In order to turn the unit on, we have to make sure that the red switch on the battery is switched on. It's the line, not the circle. So I have that on, and then we'll press and hold the power button on this left control. And then we'll see that the screen turns on. Taking a look at the screen, we can see the current pedal assist level at 0. It goes from 0 to 5. This is the current speed in miles per hour. This is the trip distance, the trip time, the current mode. By default, it's eco, and when you continue to pedal or go in a higher gear, it automatically switches to power. And then there's usually icons for cruise control and the walk assist mode. If I single press the power button, nothing happens. If I press the up button, it changes from 0 to 1 to 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 is the highest. If we press and hold the plus button, nothing happens. We can press the minus button. It goes from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. And if we press and hold the minus button, Provides a pedestrian assist of 3.7 miles per hour. If we let go of it, it automatically slows down. This is the headlight button. If I press it, the headlight turns on. Taking a look at the headlight beam, there's two headlights. The top one, which I'm moving to the top right now, there's a sharp beam on the top and the semicircle on the bottom. And then the bottom one has a sharp beam on the bottom and the semicircle on the top. The e-bike headlights I'm familiar with usually have the semicircle on the bottom. So it's interesting that this has both. I'm just gonna overlap them for now. And then I'll show you the tail light. This is the tail light with the headlight off. If we press the brake lever, it lights up. If we turn the headlight on, it lights up. And then we can also press the brake lever and it gets brighter. Headlight off. I'll turn the headlight off by pressing the headlight button, and then there's a horn. In order to go to the second interface, we'll press and hold the minus and headlight button. And then we can see the average speed, the max speed, the trip, and odometer. To get out of this, we'll press the headlight button. In order to go to the settings, we'll press and hold the up and down arrows. The first setting is brightness. If we press the power button, it selects that. There's 3 different levels. Level 2 is default. We can press up or down. I'm going to keep it at 2 for now, and I'll press the power button to go back. We can go to the units. There's kilometers and miles. I'm going to keep it in miles. There's the startup mode. Free mode means that you can use the throttle without pedaling. In safe mode, you have to pedal in order to use the throttle. Then we can reset the trip. I'm not going to reset it at the moment. To get out of this, we'll press the headlight button. In order to go to the advanced settings, which is not recommended by the manufacturer and not supported, it might void warranty, we'll press and hold the up, down, and headlight buttons. The first one is speed limit. We'll press the power button. By default, it's 20 miles per hour. You can go as high as 61 is the highest, and then it goes back to 0. So I'll try 61. The next one is power assisted gear. You can either do 3 gears or 5 gears. I'll leave it at 5. Voltage level, you can either pick 36 or 48. Because the battery and motor are 48, I'm going to leave it at 48. Wheel diameter, 22. Tacho magnets, leave it at 6. Riding modes, you can do motor only, pedal and motor. I'll leave it at pedal and motor. Intensity settings, by default it's 3. You can go to 5. I'm going to leave it at 3. And then factory reset. I'm going to leave it as is, so I'll exit out of this. And that's the last setting. To get out of it, we'll press the headlight button. I'll demonstrate the max speeds in each pedal assist level before unlocking the max speed. In pedal assist 0, it doesn't work. Pedal assist 1, it's 20 miles per hour. Pedal assist 2 is the same. Pedal assist 3 is the same. Pedal assist 4 is the same. Pedal assist 5 is the same. For the max speed, the thumb throttle is independent of what gear you're in, as long as it's not 0. Let's test the max speed after unlocking it. In pedal assist 0, it doesn't work. Pedal assist 1, 29. Pedal assist 2, pedal assist 3, pedal assist 4, and pedal assist 5 are all 29. In order to turn it off, we'll press and hold the power button. These are the error codes for those that are curious.
We're going to test the acceleration and max speed in each of the pedal assist levels 0 through 5 with pedaling only, then throttle only, and pedal assist 0 with pedaling. There's no assist, meaning if your battery ever died, you can still continue to pedal. I don't feel much resistance in the back. Pedal assist 1, the motor kicked in right away, and we're getting 7.5 miles per hour. Pedal assist 2, it's stopping at 11.6. Pedal assist 3. .5. Pedal assist 4. 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20. Stopping at 20.4. Pedal assist 5. 11, 13, 15, 17, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. And it's stopping at, I see 28.3, 20, a little bit of 29. And I think 29 is the max that we're gonna get. We're gonna do the same thing for throttle only, and post to 0, the throttle does not work. When I did the stationary test, pedal assist 1 through 5 got the max speed of 28 miles per hour, so let's test it out. Pedal assist 1 after unlocking the max speed. 3, 6, 8, 11, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Saw a little bit of 28, 28.3, and it's fluctuating between 27 and 28.3. So I think that's the max that we're gonna get, 28.3. Let's test the brakes by hitting the max speed and slamming on the brakes to see how soon it stops. 28 after this first cone. The brakes locked up and it skid. I stopped right after this first cone. Each cone is 12 feet. We're approximately between the second and third cone, so that's 18 feet. I didn't even break in the brake pads. That was the first time I slammed on them, and they bit really well. I was able to lock up the wheels. Looking at the brake levers on the left side, the front one bites around here, and the rear bites around here. They are hydraulic disc brakes, and they feel very nice. They have 180 millimeter rotors in the front and also in the back. The brakes are Logan brand. In terms of suspension, there is a fork in the front that has springs, and just looking at it, it's not too soft and it's not too stiff. It has a good amount of dampening. And then the rear, behind this plastic, there is a shock that says Hot 320, and I don't think it's adjustable. Let's take a look at the dampening. I think there's springs inside, because if I lift the rear seat, I feel the spring coming off, and there's a medium amount of stiffness. This rear part of the frame pivots right there, and here is the rear suspension. I'm going to test the e-bike on mulch, dirt, and gravel. On pavement, it's very smooth. Moving on to mulch. It's able to take it well. Moving on to dirt. Takes it well. On to gravel. No issues here. Next, I'm going to test the e-bike on hills in pedal assist 5. This hill has about a 10% slope, and it does not struggle at all. We got 17 miles per hour. This next hill is a bit steeper. It's about 25 to 30% grade. We're getting 15 miles an hour. 16. It's holding 15.9. And now it's going to 14 as the hill ended. Starting on an incline, using throttle only. It's taking some effort. I'm getting 7, 8, 9, 10. Still getting 10, 10.8, 11. And as the hill is getting flatter, the max speed is increasing. We're getting 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Starting from a flat, we're getting 15 miles per hour before the hill starts. This is about a 20% grade. Getting 17 miles per hour, 17.6. Now it's dropping. Well, it's continuing to hold 16, 17. Now it's going to 15.5, 14 as the hill increases and ends. Moving on to the review, I'm going to bike around and give you my thoughts. What I like most about this e-bike is its frame. It has this moped retro style frame and it looks very nice in my opinion. They have this plastic panel that conceals the rear shock, and they sell different kinds of graphics that you can put here. They also have this storage bag that makes it look more like a chopper motorcycle. What's also unique is these dual headlights. Most e-bikes have one, this one has two. In terms of performance, there's a 750 watt rear hub motor. It has a 960 watt peak output, and it can hit 28 miles per hour. It's able to climb hills. For steeper hills around 30% grade, I got around 15 miles per hour instead of the 28, but it has a 7-speed shifter, so you can shift to the higher cassette or higher gear in the back, and then you're able to tackle any hill. There's also front and rear suspension. They have about a medium stiffness. When I rode over mulch, rock, and gravel, it was able to take them. It was quite comfortable as well, and on pavements, it's super smooth. The hydraulic disc brakes have 180 millimeter rotors, and they stop really well. It's also nice that there's a removable battery, so you can remove the battery and charge it wherever. In terms of suggestions, a few things that I thought about. It would have been nice if this panel concealed the battery as well. That way you don't see the battery. If there was an easy way to loosen this panel to take the battery out, I think that would have been a good idea. The front shock also has no adjustments. It would have been worthwhile to have a locking unlocking function or adjustable compression. And then same with the rear, there's no adjustments. They could have added turn signals so that people would know that you're turning. This bag mount is a bit interesting. It's very easy to slide off. It just slides onto this hook right here. If you look underneath, there's this plastic tab. It doesn't really do anything to hold it in place. It's held on by Velcro straps right here and here. Sometimes it starts to slip. They should have added another Velcro strap back here. The one in the front, the way this Velcro strap is stitched, it's meant to go forward. When I put it right here, it was sliding all over the place, and when I put it here, it kind of interferes with this triple tree. Other than that, I don't have any suggestions. Overall, I think this is a great e-bike. I like how it looks, how it has extra storage. There's a good amount of performance. The motor kicks in right away when I pedal, and of all the e-bikes I've tested, this one probably engages the quickest. That's it for this review. Please like this video if you found it helpful. Feel free to leave questions or comments in the comment section below. And if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for watching, and take care.